Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dan Bob. This is the House of Grim podcast. I got Grim on with me right now, and we have a special guest with us this evening. We got Eli Driftwood with us.
Well,
What's going
hello,
on?
everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, I must say.
Pleasure is all mine. This is so awesome, bro. I've been wanting to have you on for quite some time. A lot of your peers speak highly about you. Um, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, let me first say by thanking you guys personally for all that you do. Now, I know you may not think it's much, but it is a lot for all your support and the platform you give us. It's amazing.
Well,
No
hey, we
problem.
we really appreciate that, man. You guys have basically like over there at Pure Pro Wrestling, man. You guys have all basically opened the door and just had open arms for us, you know. So for that, all we can do is show much love and respect, and anything we can do on our end to help you guys, man. We love to do it.
Likewise, my brother. Likewise.
Um. So how did you come up with this character?
All right, well, let's press the rewind button a little bit. I started off as Road Rash. I
Okay.
was teaming with who is now Sean Evans. He was Ace Evans then. And, well, we did that for a good 5 years, and we just felt we both like no problems with each other, but we wanted to go our separate ways to see what we could do on a singles. So I've always been a fan of horror movies. Rob Zombie movies, love them. So I wanted to do something based off of Otis Driftwood, which Eli Driftwood, right? Well, I didn't think I'd turn out to be a lot more like Captain Spaulding, but I'll take it. So I got the blessing from the promoter to start doing that, and I just took off with it. He said, "The crazier, the better." I said, "Hey, I can do that. I can do it real good."
Right. Yeah, we've seen you live a few times, man, and there'd be some kids sitting kind of close by us, and they were kind of like scared, like freaked out a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. As creepy as I felt I was, Pinwheel. Now, that thing, that first time I brought Pinwheel, it was the Genesee County Fair, and I'm rewatching the match. I had a match with Dylan Derringer for the Continental title. I'm rewatching that, and I hear adults, "Look out! There's a clown! Stay away!" Like, okay, this is gonna work. This is gonna work real good.
Oh yeah,
Right.
clown phobia is a real thing, man.
It is, yes. I use it to my advantage. What can I say?
So,
um,
with a
Go ahead,
with a
Grim.
with a faction like the circus, um, what all like goes into it? Like, how you keep it fresh?
So yeah, you just got to evolve, keep evolving. Even the little things like, I left them. I had the white sunglasses. I switched to these. Um, in Undertaker, he taught me that. I mean, not personally, obviously, but just how he evolved from the gray tie to the purple gloves to the American Badass to back to the Dead Man. Like that was like, this is what you got to do to stay fresh and stay alive. Now, the circus being somewhat as new as it is, Beast and Pinwheel, for the most part, we got Brother Averill there too. But, just a little bit, like I told Pinwheel, you need some white gloves. I'll tell Beast, you need some like claw-like gloves.
Mhm.
Just the little things like that, I think keeps it growing.
So do they have a little input on some of the things that they want to bring to the table for the faction? Like if they wanted to use a different colored gloves or something like that, are they allowed to bring that to you?
Yes, I do encourage that. I do encourage I may be the leader, but I'm not your commander type thing. Like speak up. at first they were both kind of shy, so it's kind of like, hey, this would be cool if you did this, or maybe you do this, it would work better for you. A lot of trial and error, if you will, but from when we started, I've seen them two grow, and I cannot be more proud of both of them, how they're growing into their own.
Right, I could see that for sure. Like how they're evolving and growing. That's
Yeah,
awesome, man. You're definitely a good leader, definitely a good teacher. You know what I mean?
I
Helping them
appreciate
along the way.
it. Yes, yes.
Um,
Teaching. Oh, go ahead, my friend.
I was just gonna ask, like, how do you feel about like social media in this new day and age with like professional wrestling? Do you think it's a hindrance? Do you think it could help? Um, as far
Oh,
as like somebody on the indies coming up to like do vignette videos and put them out on their social media. Do you recommend things like that?
absolutely. When I started training in the year 2000, right after graduation. And not to get off, I'll get right to your question, but I remember always saying, don't just jump to the first school. I did that. Promoter or the trainer took my money and ran. Uh, so then, about a year after that, I trained at Dan Severance. But fast forward, back then, we didn't have none of that. There was no social media and there was no way to evolve your story. I
Right.
love that you can do vignettes. Obviously, I do a lot of them. I love that you can kind of tell your own story. And then when you go into the wrestling ring, the story's already been laid out for your followers. And now you just tell the story in the ring from that point. So I personally do think that is the good part of social media. I'm a huge, strong believer of keeping kayfabe, and maybe that's where the social media may hinder it a little bit. But sometimes you gotta just adjust to the times, and
Right.
it's still a good old time.
Yeah, like when we were following along on social media going into like leading up to Retro Slam, and I was staying engaged with everything on social media, like with Obsidian and the Misfits. Everything they were doing was pure genius. It was top
Yes.
notch stuff, and I stayed engaged with it. I was sharing the stuff and commenting on everything, and then so when we end up at Retro Slam, like the story was there, like it was just awesome, man, going to all these shows and being able to keep track with the story on online and things like that. So I feel like it helps.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Them guys, they all busted their tails so much to get where they're at. And to tell that, I mean, I needed a box of popcorn myself because like they were going into other promotions and like taking face to face pictures. So it was like really like, oh, this
Mm,
feels real, you know?
right, right. Yeah,
They
they were
told,
definitely taking it to a different level.
oh yeah, damn good stories.
Grim, you got any questions for him?
Yeah, I think somebody told me you teach like a promo class
Yeah,
before.
yeah. So I do Fridays, other than Friday night fights. I do every Fridays other than those. Usually at Friday night fights, I wasn't there because I was sick, but um, I do a promo class, and then the class before that, it's a beginner's class. I've evolved my promo class to promos and match work, kind of mix them together and just different things. Last summer, I did a whole promo battle tournament in my
Okay.
classes. Ken Riddle and Darling Roger. Oh my gosh, amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, we've had both them guys on, man. I got mad love and respect for both them guys. Every time I see Darlin Rogers or Territory, man, I give each of them a hug. Like them are two of my good friends now.
That's
Very good talkers, very good in the ring. I love their work, man. I got a lot of love for all you guys at Pure Pro, man. All you guys are firing on all the right cylinders. You know what I mean? Even the kids, man. From the kids, the kids are amazing.
yeah, for sure. If I wish I would have had that platform when I was a kid. Once I
Same here,
found
man.
once I found out wrestlers were real people, not robots, I wanted to be a wrestler at 7 years old. and I guess no one talked me out of it.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing that you're here, you know, because you're definitely a big part of pure pro wrestling. You know what I mean? A lot of people in Michigan know who you are. You know, like there's been people at my work. I'd have one of your guys' flyer. I had Retro Slam flyer hung up, and customers would come in all the time and talk about certain individuals from pure pro wrestling, and you were one of them.
Um,
Uh, that's pretty cool, man. You guys are out there just grinding and putting on good shows, doing a lot of things for the community. Like man, I really wish that was there when I was a kid, man. I probably would have took a different path. Although I did come out to Friday night fights and tried to get some chops. I could only do three.
I think the mountain has quite the swing on him, huh?
Oh man, I'm still trying to heal up.
Yeah, yeah. Wait till Malice gives you one.
Yeah, right, I seen him in the ring giving him a few times. Yeah, I was like, ooh wee. I was worried about Big Dom. That's who I was worried about. And Machine Gun Bishop, bro. That's them two are who I was worried about getting a chop from.
Absolutely, absolutely. All good kids. Like as a coach, you know, you help everyone, but there's certain ones you kind of take under your wing. I'd have to say, Darling Roger, Ken Riddle, and all of Obsidian started with Ray Adams. Me and him, we rode together deep at the beginning of his training, and we just built a brotherhood that's never going to end.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one thing I can say, man. Like, is following along with you guys on Facebook and seeing how you guys interact at the shows. I see that it's like a family for the most part. Like a lot of you guys help one another out. There's no backstabbing, no stepping on toes. You guys are all equal and helpful to one another, and that's great in this industry, bro. 'Cause normally it ain't like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know, I know.
Hmm.
Believe me, I pretty much primarily stick to PPW now because I've traveled outside and I've seen how outside locker rooms are, and like, yeah, I can handle it, but I prefer to be a place where people are going to lift each other up. You
Yeah.
feel
Right,
me?
right. A happy environment.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, Dude, I would like to come to one of your promo classes, bro. Um, I messaged Ray Adams one time and asked him something about a promo class. I just want to kind of help myself get into character a little more on this channel and talk a little better. I think you know what I mean.
More than welcome, always, always. Doors open for you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. Graham, you got anything else?
Y- yeah. So you spoke on uh taking people under your wing. Is there anybody that's like brand new that you're really looking out for right now?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have a personal project. And it's an absolute fact, Trevor, huh?
Oh, okay.
Um, he came in shortly after Ken Riddle, their childhood friends, and once I pretty much Kim pretty much got cleared, and I was like, "All right, you're in good standings." I told Trevor, "It's your turn now." So he's already starting to rise above where he was last year. So I give it a year, and everyone's gonna know who he is, and that is an absolute fact.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's starting to grow on me too, bro. Like seeing him at Friday night fights, and he was sitting there by us, and just him cheering along, and just
He,
man, he's
he was
he's
getting
fire,
the
bro.
crowd going. So
Yeah. I definitely can see him going places, man. Yeah,
Absolutely. Like I said, my circus people personally, yes, those two. There's another that I'm potentially trying to bring into the circus. I'll keep it, but I see a lot in him. That's why I reached out and said, "You're not doing nothing right now. Well, let's maybe talk business," you know. So, but whether they're in the circus or not, that there's nothing like coaching and seeing the work you put into someone and you watch them at a show and apply it. Like You can't get more prouder than that, to be honest. I wasn't even supposed to be a full-time coach. I was filling in for a coach who was a football coach for the football season. Well, I kind of have like the Dan Campo approach. I want people to run through walls for me. I want to lift them up. And once the owner of PPW seen that, he was like, "How would you like a full-time position?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" So
Mhm.
yeah, the rest is kind of history with that.
Yeah, Joe Berg, man. He seems like a coolest dude ever, bro. Like just down to earth, man. Like I was uh I was kind of like just in the beginning of us starting to like talk with you guys and things. I was kind of like intimidated, I guess, kind of like you would think about Vince McMahon in a way, you know. And then once I got to interact with him a time or two, bro, I'm like, this guy's just down to earth, man. He's just cool as shit. Like, man,
Absolutely.
like,
When
yeah.
he speaks, it's gospel too. Like
Mhm.
you sit in like long lectures and you're not for him. Like it's just like holy crap! It's eye opening every single word he
Mhm.
said. And just as a coach, listen to him give these speeches. I learn a lot still to this day.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you
Oh,
guys over there, man, are just on a different level, man. You guys are definitely somebody out there, something up above is looking out, man. 'Cause
No,
you guys are on just a different level, man.
it was
I couldn't agree more.
it was awesome getting to go to Friday Night Fights and kind of see like behind the scenes how things run for that, because it was like a legit like TV production. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like
Oh yeah,
countdowns,
well,
this, that, like wild. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, it
man,
was
this is
phenomenal, dude.
there's a lot that goes into this. You know what I'm saying? That when
I
you're
think
watching
a
the streams, you
lot
don't even
with
think about.
yeah, I think a lot what separates PPW from the rest, and no disrespect for the rest, there's a lot of great promotions in Michigan, a lot. But far as I feel is if you're at a live show and you see a really spotty match, all these acrobatics and stuff, you're gonna be popped in the moment, like, "Wow, that was cool."
Mm.
But a good story, that's what you're going to talk about on the way home. That's what the kids are going to talk about the next day on the bus ride to school. That's
Uh,
what sticks.
I seen an interview recently. I think it was Chris Van Fleet. I can't remember who he was interviewing, but they were talking about how wrestling is the moments between moves, storytelling
Yes.
in between the
Oh, I
moves.
preach that like a preacher on Sundays, I swear. Like, I can't count on all my fingers and toes how many times I've said, it's not the moves, it's what you do in between the moves that are going to make you bigger, larger than life.
Oh yeah,
Another guy I learned so much from just from the little things was and still is Dylan Knight. Like we have literally the dream team here.
Um, now does Dylan Knight does still is he gonna end up coming back? You think he's gonna end up coming back, or is he done wrestling for like retired for sure?
Well,
never say never.
Mhm.
that's the golden rule in wrestling: never say never, right? Well,
Because it broke my heart, bro. I'm like, man, like,
yeah, me too. I think he's done enough where he can retire at peace.
Mhm.
mhm,
But once the body heals, you
right,
start to miss things. You
hmm,
never know. But
yeah,
um, what he's already laid for PPW, the groundwork he's done these past 5 years or so, irreplaceable,
right,
completely replaceable.
yeah. He's another great dude, man. Like, uh, all of you guys, man. I can't give all you guys enough credit, man. Like, I keep saying it, bro. Like, just all you guys are just great individuals, man. Like, great human beings, bro. I was able to I'm glad I was able to meet you guys and able to interview you guys, man. I feel like I really feel like I became friends with a lot of you guys, and I see a lot of the new people that we're starting to talk to. I see friendships building. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this is a great place. You know?
As much as you say these guys talk me up a lot, they also talk you guys up. So I'm glad you guys are part of our extended family. It's good to have you. It's good to see you at shows. I know a lot of times I'm bouncing from one direction to another, and I don't get to introduce myself, but that time will come.
Right, for sure.
I do
Yeah, I
have
mean,
I have a question.
go
Uh,
ahead,
Yeah.
bro.
how important is merchandise on the indie scene?
Huge, huge, huge. So that's what's gonna make this from a hobby to a financial business. You get over like the Midwest Misfits, their
Oh, yeah.
stuff flies off their tables big time. So instead of the wrestling payday, they get that on top of, or probably I would say anywhere between 1 to 300 a night off their merchandise. My merchandise started flying off the shelves, and sometimes you got to think like the Psycho Circus gimmick. It was huge for me because I got a bunch of circus lights. Retro Sam had circus lights. I got like probably 60 of them for $40 on Amazon. And I'm just chilling watching the matches. My match is done, and I see, man, that's a lot of kids with these lights. Oh shit, those are my lights. Like, yeah, it's the more the characters, the easier the merch can be. Everyone loves a T-shirt,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the kids. Here's the thing with the kids: adults might not want to buy your shirts, but the kids want some. The adults can spend their money on you. It's just that simple.
Yep. Like I love all my merch and stuff. I got action figures and all sorts of toys, and I love it
Yeah,
all, man. I had to get this from Darlin Rogers.
I see that. Yes, got
So
Jack
I
Kelly's
keep
butt
that.
on it still.
Yep, yep,
All
yep.
right,
And
all right.
I had him sign it. um,
In
yeah,
blood.
man. And then I got my retro slam picture right there in a frame. Like
Yeah.
I got Penny right there again. I got Zondo. So I gotta show my love and support, man. But I love all my merch and memorabilia and stuff.
So let me ask you guys a question. I asked this to a lot of people, and I'll give you my answer. Which, what was the moment as a kid that hooked you? A lot of people say their favorite wrestlers. For me, I'll even go first. It wasn't my favorite wrestler. Never ended up being my favorite wrestler. But for some reason, when I seen Bruce Beefcake shaving a grown man's head, I don't know. I was like, this is it.
For me, it was Mick Foley, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. He just got me a card today of it.
Oh yeah, that was.
That match, I don't know how many times as a kid I recreated it with my toys. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm like, and it cemented my fandom. That and our mother for sure. You know, she she was huge into wrestling, so
Mm-hmm.
she like
We
every
we
pay per
snuck
view.
we snuck into the Palace of Auburn Hills backstage Monday Nitro. We first went to the Genesee Valley Mall and we bought two navy blue T-shirts with yellow writing that said security. We got them from Gadzooks, and we and I don't know how it worked, bro, because I'm like 13 years old, 12 years old, and
oh,
we snuck in backstage, and we got back there for maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most, bro. And they're like, what are you guys? You're not security. Get them out of here. But it was just awesome, bro. Like, me and my mom did that. Like, that's how much of a fan she is. You know,
that's
me and her ready to get in trouble together.
and those memories are going to live with
Oh
you
yeah.
for the rest of your
Mhm.
life. Like that 15 minutes. No,
Yeah, it
that's
was priceless.
yeah.
Wouldn't trade it for world. And then Booker T pulls up, and they're like she's trying to help him take the cap off the Sharpie. She's trying to like, but she's so hysterical and nervous for meeting him, and he's like no, like, I'll take it. Well, the cap goes flying, ends up in his geo tracker somewhere. So she runs around to try and she's trying to like help him look for it, and all the time he's trying to be polite and tell her like ma'am, you know, I'll get it. She's so hysterical and hyper. She runs around his truck, opens the passenger seat, and I'm just like freaking out, like mom. Great memories, man.
That's awesome. Yep, that is awesome. I used to go to the IMA Sports Arena for all the WWF at the time house shows, and I remember I found out where the wrestlers leave at. Me and my cousin and his mom let us just wait for him to come out. And Yokozuna, I was trying to get his autograph, but if I didn't move, he was going to step on my foot. And I was like, okay. But it's a moment I'll never forget. Like, and you see people on TV that you're like, you don't think they're that big, and then you see them, and you're like, holy crap! Like freaking Randy Orton. Took my kid front row, and he's so tall, and his legs are thick as tree trunks, legit.
I feel like Austin Theory is like that. You know, like he looks deceptively small on TV, but I feel like if you see him in real life, he's probably pretty big.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure too.
When I saw Rhino, man, I was like, I was kind of taken back at how generally big he was in real life. You know, they do make him look big on TV. Don't get me wrong, but and then he was like, go on, go over there, and I was like so nervous, bro. I'm like, I just couldn't bring myself, and I wanted to so bad. That's all I talked about. Like, man, I want to go see Ryan. I want to talk to him. I want to see if I can get him on the podcast. And I just shut right down. I'm like, man.
You did get him to sign his shirt with his face on it, though.
Yeah,
wait about a minute.
Yeah,
it's always the ones you feel like are not approachable. They're like the most laid back cats. Like,
right.
Same with Rhino. It's like, all right, I'm gonna show my respect, greet them, and all that. But I'll probably, let him. And then he's like, just cracking jokes with me. I'm like, all right, this is cool.
Hell yeah, that'd be great, man.
One I met that I thought was pretty awesome was Jimmy Hart. That dude, he was so cool. He took he just talked to me for like 10-15 minutes. That was at the Flint Comic Con. I was like, man, I can't believe it. Talking to Jimmy Hart, you know. So.
Right.
The first wrestler I actually partied with at our show, he's gone now, but Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and like I called him sir. He said, "Don't you ever call me sir again, brother. Call me Jimmy." I'm like, fair enough. So,
that would have been awesome to hang out with him, bro.
For sure. I don't smoke cigarettes no more, but when I did, I asked him for one. He's like, "You can't have a cigarette. You can have a whole pack." He busted out a carton. Okay. Very good. And the funny thing is, his cigarettes were in, his geared spotted leopard thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bag like that. I'm like, man, living the gimmick.
No shit. That's great, man.
Sorry.
You're all good.
Graham, we gotta get you some cough syrup, bro.
I know, I'm about to take some when I get off here and pass out.
Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Anytime you suppose we tell all the guys and girls, man, from Pure Pro Wrestling, anytime you want to come on or do anything or need us to promote or share or post anything, just holler. We got you, bro.
Maybe next time I can get some circus members to join me and get to know them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll use some of that circus magic on you, Grim, so you can get better.
Thanks.
That'd be awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the House of Grim podcast. I'm Dan Bob. That's Sicko Grim over there, and that's been Eli Driftwood.
Enjoy.